Hey Scorpio, welcome to your July 2018 reading. Thanks so much for being here. I'm going to make this short and sweet for you guys. I think the name of the game for you this month is really the Jupiter moving forward, moving direct transit in your first house. This is an exciting time since Jupiter has been retrograde for several months. Your ruling planet, Mars, going retrograde. There's kind of a push-pull between the Mars retrograde energy and the Jupiter trying to move forward. It's kind of contradictory, but if you harness it and find that balance, you'll be a straight shot toward 2019. I'm excited about 2019 because I feel as though a lot of the big stuff that we've been needing to work out, we've been needing to rectify, all the karmic stuff that has been needing to get cleaned up is getting to the end point. And when 2019 comes, we're going to be grateful for this time that we were able to reflect, we were able to take the time to be inside our minds and inside our hearts, and maybe for many of us even inside our homes, you know, and kind of being that hermit mode type of quality. So your ruling planet going retrograde in your fourth house. There can be stuff with home and family, there can be stuff with kids, a surfacing of past issues, childhood issues, that kind of thing. If they haven't been dealt with or if they haven't been acknowledged, now would be the time to sort of allow that stuff to surface. With the Sun coming in opposition with Saturn and then eventually in Pluto, which is opposing in Capricorn, there is karma on the docket, and I've been saying that for every sign. Karma is at play. We have an opportunity to fix the things that need to be fixed and to break free from the hold and from the tethers that have been kind of holding us back. And now more than ever, we have this separation that I've been talking about for months and months, the separation between the high vibrationals and the low vibrationals. High vibes are just getting higher and higher. It's kind of like the separation between the wealthy and the poor, where it's just kind of like the gap is getting so huge, and we are starting to notice that in our everyday lives on a day-to-day basis with all sorts of different people. And for you guys, this month is no exception. So keep your head up, keep your head high, keep that optimism, beautiful Jupiter optimism that's going to be going for you more so than any other sign in the zodiac this month. And enjoy. Okay? I'll see you guys next month. Bye. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to July 2018. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys are feeling okay. With Mars, one of your ruling planets, retrograding, you are going to be affected by it. And I don't know, I started this reading earlier today and I stopped halfway through and I was like, oh my gosh, I am so tired. Like, the energy from you guys made me tired. And I don't know, are you guys kind of running out of steam? Or it's like we're kind of waiting for Jupiter to go back direct in your sign. Mars is doing its thing, and it seems like there's a great deal of like reining everything in. There's optimism on the table because of Jupiter going direct. Okay, so the Page of Wands is to no surprise to me. Page of Wands is, in a way, it's very Sagittarian-like, which makes sense because it is Jupiter after all. And there's forward-looking motion or forward-looking energy, but still living very much in the moment. Clearly, you are turning your back on something that is totally not worthwhile, you know, and Scorpio is really good at giving a screw off vibe, like screw off. And I suspect that there is something or someone in your life that you're ready to say that to. You're ready to walk away from. And, you know, I remember last month I was like, you guys are eerily calm given this Uranus transit. And I don't think that that's really changed. I think that you're handling the restlessness very, very well and using it to your benefit, spiritually, to your spiritual benefit. You guys have been going through a a time of very deep reflection, more so than you normally do, right? Maybe being hermits. Maybe you may hermit mode this month. Pull it in, like I said, reining it in, simplifying your life, getting rid of excess. That's one thing I love about Scorpio. Can I just say that? Is Scorpio is very good at living without excess. You know, I've been coming in contact with the Scorpio energy a lot lately, and it's kind of funny. You guys are incredibly and weirdly adaptable, like to any environment. You guys are perfectly happy sleeping on a futon. You're perfectly happy living without. You know, you don't necessarily have to eat all the time. You're not big like consumers, you know, unless you have certain things like that in your own individual chart, then yeah, sure. But in general, and then Jupiter retrograde as well, it's like, okay, well, I don't need to buy anything. I don't need to spend my money. I don't need to like really get out there and do a lot of crazy stuff. I'm just happy just kind of being where I'm at, and I've worked through stuff, and that's good. And, you know, it's great. You know, I dated a Scorpio earlier this year, and he just contacted me the other day. It's like, no surprise, Mars retrograde, right? He lived in a gigantic mansion that was like completely empty. And I remember I walked in and it was like super minimal, super like really streamlined furniture, very Libran. His Mars is in Libra, so it was like very Libran in nature. I was like, wow, that's such a Scorpio thing, like to have this gigantic house and to like have nothing on the walls and to just have really basic furniture. And, you know, it was just so much like that. And I feel like you're going to be kind of snapping out of that scarcity kind of thing and allowing yourself to have some stuff, allowing yourself some new life experience, allowing yourself some new material things, allowing yourself to kind of get out of your kind of normal modus operandi. Clearly something is still plaguing you. Clearly you're still affected by something, you know. Mars retrograde resurfaces things, especially since it's happening in your fourth house. There are things associated with your past. There are things associated with your roots and essentially your soul, right? Your soul's journey, your soul's path. To have your own ruling planet, actually both your own ruling planets, Mars and Pluto, both going retrograde, there is this kind of reevaluation that's being done. So I understand I'm contradicting myself a little bit. So yes, there's like this kind of time to really get out there and to make movement. That's the Jupiter quality. But then there's still this caution exhibited by the Mars retrograde, you know, and there's still this, I might not be entirely broken free from the things that have emotionally been kind of pinning me down. As much as we would like to think that that transformation is completely over and completely done, as long as Pluto and Mars are in retrograde, that karmic stuff is still kind of surfacing. You know, Sun coming in contact with Saturn today, with a direct opposition in the sky. Later on in the month, it's going to come in direct opposition with Pluto. So our egos are very much on the docket. And because it's happening in your third and ninth house, the sort of Cancer Capricorn axis, because it's happening in the third and ninth, there's a teaching opportunity, teaching and learning and coming to this higher level understanding of what it's all for and what it's all been and what purpose it serves in your life. In a weird way, you might kind of miss the intensity a little bit, but also no, I don't miss it at all, right? Again, a contradiction. You miss it because in a way, Scorpio craves intensity. It craves walking on that emotional cliff a little bit, you know? But at the same time, you're kind of in a safe zone, and hopefully you can get accustomed to that. You can get accustomed to not living on the emotional cliff, because this is, an immature Scorpio is someone that goes out and creates drama because they seek it, they need it, they thrive on it. But a mature Scorpio is one that experiences emotions without causing anyone else any harm, right? Or by manipulating anybody else. It keeps it internalized and uses those intense emotions as fuel for their own progress. Emotions are extremely wonderful tools, and I talked about this with Cancer as well. Tools that enable us to know what our intuition is saying and to know what's right. And with the Devil coming out reversed, there does seem to be a rectification of some wrong that occurred. Someone wronged you, maybe you wronged someone else, and now it's time to really break free from that karmic cycle. You're breaking the chains. You're breaking the repeated habits. You're breaking the repeated patterns so that you don't ever have to experience that ever again. So that the next time you believe in someone, the next time you believe in a situation, it's not to your own detriment, but it is for something more productive. A Five of Wands is never productive, ever. I often see it as family politics or office politics or just kind of bureaucracy, BS, relationship politics, power struggles, that kind of thing. I very often see it coming out that way. And there's a release of that. There's a release. King of Pentacles coming out. There's a card of Taurus, all right? I think this is someone else. This is maybe someone that, well, it's kind of in a way you, actually. Maybe someone is actually, maybe you're absorbing the qualities of someone that you have been around or you've been dealing with. King of Pentacles is completely opposite, literally opposite. It is your opposite sign of Scorpio. There is comfort with comfort. There is comfort with luxury. There is comfort with stuff. There is comfort with connections and relationships. This person doesn't like emotional intensity at all. Are you on the teeter-totter, Scorpio, between an old self and a new self? Are you making strides in your own emotional maturity? One thing a Scorpio does need to learn, I would say especially a Scorpio moon, okay? But one thing a Scorpio does need to learn throughout the course of his or her lifetime is how not to project their emotions onto other people, okay? And a King of Pentacles is very self-contained, very self-possessed. And while he or she may experience emotions, because of course it's still a person, it is not being flung out towards someone else, right? And no one is getting your expectations. No one is getting your unresolved issues, You are needing strength. Whenever strength comes out, it's always kind of a sweet and sour situation. It's good because strength is an amazing quality to have. It's good because it reminds us that we are in control of our physical world, that our physical world manifests because of our consciousness. And when it's upright, it means that you are exhibiting strength in a positive way, that you are accepting responsibility for your world, and you are determining what you will and will not allow. You are letting things go that no longer serve. Things that in the past overpowered you, you are now overpowering it. It's sour or it's difficult because it means you're having to do that. It means you're having to exert strength to control something, right? It means that there's still an area of your life that is needing attention. There's still a lesson at play. You are in a weird place. It's like the whole, the hermit thing that Scorpio and even the symbols of Scorpio and Virgo are very, very similar. Scorpio and Virgo have a lot of similarities. A lot. And the hermit mode is one of them. Scorpio loves, unless you're like an 11th house Scorpio, or you have a lot of 11th, 3rd, 7th house types of stuff going on where you really like to be out there, and your 10th house stuff, right? Unless you have that kind of stuff, Scorpio does like to be at home a lot. It does like to be in its safe environment. It's very similar to Virgo, right? Where you enjoy being in the place where you have control. You might be doing some of that as meditation, as controlling your vibrations, controlling your circle, controlling the people that you're around, because maybe you went through an experience that completely threw your progress off kilter, and now you're needing to like find that stability again. You're needing to find that rootedness. You might be transitioning now and tapping into that Taurus part of you, because you're just as much a Taurus as you are a Scorpio. And so now you're tapping into that Taurus part of you that's like, I need stability, and it's okay to have comfortable things. It's okay for me to relax. It's okay for me to not feel something so much. I'll tell you what, as a Scorpio moon myself, that's something that I've had to like remind myself on a daily basis. Like, it's okay to not feel today. Like it's okay to have it be easy for once. And there's the Mars retrograde, the card of Aries, also a card of Scorpio because of the Mars rulership there. And you may be feeling agitated, you may have a hard time with that balancing act a little bit. I'm not going to lie, you may have a hard time with the balancing act. The transition is occurring whether you like it or not. And while you may have hesitation with really like tapping into the Jupiter direct in your sign and like going out there and doing all this, because of the Mars retrograde is like in direct conflict with that. So while you may be having a difficult time with that teeter-totter, you just kind of may stay stagnant, and that's totally fine. Stagnation right now, I think, is better than acting irresponsibly. It's better than doing things that you may regret or saying things that you may regret. It's extremely important for you to maybe tap into the slow quality of Taurus. Taurus is notorious for being slow moving. It's the fixed earth. And of all the elements, it's the slowest one, right? We think of how often the earth landscape changes, right? It's like takes millions and millions of years for a mountain to form, So there are benefits to moving slowly and to moving consciously. A bull doesn't fight unless it absolutely has to, Your Scorpio stinger might kind of be prime right now, but please don't use it. Please don't use it. It's too much of a reminder of where you came from, and you're trying to break free of where you came from and get to where you need to go. Spiritually, you are so capable of, like a mature Scorpio is like one of the most beautiful signs. It's loving, it's warm, it's fiercely loyal. It is happy, But Scorpio does have to go through lessons to get to that mature place. And the less you can use your stinger, think of yourself more as a butterfly rather than a scorpion. I think the scorpion is a terrible symbol for Scorpio, and I am rejecting it. I am rejecting the scorpion. I even looked at the mythology behind it, and there's not even really like a story. I don't really know. If any of you guys know, please post it in the comments below, like why the scorpion is I don't know. Like, let's take the phoenix, right? Let's take the eagle. Let's take the butterfly. Like, can we give you the butterfly as a symbol? Can we give you the eagle? Because I think that's so much more fitting
for what you really are. There's a majestic vibe to you. There is power associated with it. It is royalty, you know, and the more majestic you are, the more cautious you are in using that fierce power that you have. Okay? 10 of coins. So there's the rejection of the material happening here. There's like a weird relationship with material. I'm not sure why that's really coming online for me, where material is really on the docket, because maybe that's Saturn in Capricorn, maybe that's Venus coming into your 11th house in Virgo, maybe that's Uranus in a Taurus, I don't know. But there's certainly something with your relationship with money, your relationship with having things. Okay, I'll tell you personally that I'm having a hard, maybe this is even just me, maybe I'm just talking to myself, but like materialism in this world is getting out of control. And I feel, I mean, it has been over the like past 50 years, right? I mean, like, when is enough enough? You know, when is enough enough in the world? With Venus, actually, now that I'm saying it, with Venus coming into the 11th house this month, you may really start being like, when is enough enough? What is good enough? And what is my relationship with money? And where is that point of like, okay, I have enough of what I need, and let me help give back, right? Because that's what 11th house, that's what Virgo is really all about. I love the Virgo 11th house for you guys, because Virgo and Aquarius are two humanitarian signs. They're two signs of taking care of other people and ensuring that the world is in its best order. And who better than a majestic eagle to take care of the world, right? Keeping an eye on the world and ensuring that things are taken care of, people are cared for. So your rejection of the material, or rather your analysis of the material, your analysis of your own worldly progress, is certainly going to be under the microscope as well. You are going to have to deal with personalities, you know, as much as you might try to do the hermit thing. It doesn't mean that other people go away. You're still going to have to deal with them. You know, you're still going to have to grow with them, because we're all growing together. You know, we are all growing together. And Temperance coming out reversed. It's a card of Sagittarius. All right, today we have the moon in Sagittarius, which is kind of the only Sagittarian quality happening right now. It is a card of moderation. It's a card of the Zen. I like to call it like my Zen factor, my card of tranquility. When it's reversed, there's turbulence. Okay, the Emperor is likely causing it, Devil is likely causing it, causing a little disruption in kind of your day-to-day operations. And again, I think it's because you're sort of torn between the Scorpio part of you and the Jupiter, you know, the Jupiter part in your Scorpio and the Uranus in your Taurus. You just have conflicts going on. That's all, plain and simple. Your polarity is being challenged, and so you're going to have to find a way to make it work. You're going to have to find a way to make it balance. Please allow yourself to have the things that you feel that you need, but if it gets to a point of excess, that's when I think you're going to start kind of berating yourself and being like, oh man, you know, maybe you get buyer's remorse, maybe you start like realizing how much waste has been going on or whatever, right? Let's see what else. Now we're getting the Sun card, beautiful card. No matter what goes on in a reading, the Sun is so powerful that it blocks everything else out. You are on the right track, and we have Mercury retrograde in Leo next month, and you are going to have an ability to tap into your true creativity. You're going to feel very connected. You're going to feel inspired, likely in the career realm, because Mercury retrograde is happening in your 10th house, but it doesn't have to be. It can be in just what you have to say, in kind of finding your voice, finding the right words to say to someone, finding the right words to say to the world. Mercury in Leo is like like a messenger god coming to your heart and asking your heart what it needs. What does it need? What does it want to say? There's a level of authenticity that's needing to be reached here. Now is not a time where a lack of authenticity will serve you well. It won't serve you well. A lack of authenticity is going to be tapping into the Emperor reversed, which is super sharp, super mean, and very much a negative manifestation of the Scorpio archetype. Okay? So we're getting the Ace of Cups in the reversal position and the Six of Swords. This is the hiatus, this is the delay. You may be clinging to this Five of Wands because this hasn't appeared yet. This might not still appear this month. It's still kind of delayed. It's still pushed out. I wouldn't really expect a lot of like truly amazing things to be coming to you until like September, October. And anything that does come to you, it's not to say you can't explore it, not to say you can't look into it, and that's totally fine. You can, but I wouldn't put too much, like I said, don't project too many expectations out there. Don't project that stuff onto anything or onto anyone, because if you do, it is more likely to disappoint you simply because Mars retrograde and also Mercury retrograde. Okay, so it's not, I'm not just saying that to disappoint you or anything like that. Fact of the matter is this is reversed. It's delayed, it's out of reach in some way. Okay, and so now is merely a time for you to focus on your own path, to focus on your own journey, to figure out how to really break free from these chains that have bound you for so long. Energetically, to energetically release that stuff, and to figure out why there is still a longing for something that really didn't serve you. Where is that longing coming from? Is it merely just that it's comfortable? Because as a fixed sign, you can get stuck more easily than like a mutable sign, okay, or a cardinal. That's an MO of all fixed signs. It's not just Scorpio, it's all fixed. And the Taurus, come on. Okay, so some stuff to think about. Now is a time for liberation, and you very well can set yourself free. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll do the comprehensive. A lot to clarify in the comprehensive. So if you want to join me on the website, I'd love to see you there. If not, then I will see you next month. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.